I didn't trust you.
Yeah, I gotta let go of that.
Did you want to do this one too? Share?
I already did.
Thank you for that reminder, Rev Rita. I was up here and she said, how about the...
Oh, yeah.
But you were all so quiet that I didn't even think about it. But it's really not about that. It's just about that centering that's right here. And I just have to start out by saying there is some fantastic, magnificent energy in this room today. And that's just starting out. So I'm just God bumps, you know what I'm saying? So welcome, welcome. I am Reverend Patrick, better known as Patrick. You can call me anything, kind of.
Hi.
And we'd also like to welcome, we're live streaming, so we want to say aloha to all the people off island and those that are on island with coffee in hand. Because we've been told that they just love that idea of getting up in the morning. I said, where do you live? Kaua'i. So this could either be a really good thing for all of us or not, but I know it's always good. So a couple of things. We have these Science of Mind magazine. For sale in the bookstore, and Jackie will be back there. There she is, right there. And we also have another wonderful book that will be out there, and that is The True You. Just in case you forgot, we have a wonderful, wonderful guest here who will be doing our our treatment and reading, and he has this wonderful book, Mark Reed, who visits this island, and he's a wonderful practitioner and we'll tell more about him later, but I just want you to know this will be on sale, and he'll also be signing them, and they're $15. And I've already started it, and he had me at hello. Actually, it was I am powerful. That's where he had me. So thank you for being here. We'll be seeing more of him later. Also, t-shirts. There's 4 left. 4. And a birthday party next Sunday. I wouldn't want to be caught there not having a t-shirt on, would you? Would you? But anyway, there's only 4. There's only 4 left, and we don't hard sell here. But what I do want to say about this is there's 2 mediums, 1 large, and a small. So just to let you know. So anyway, enough of that. But we are having a birthday party. 2 years. Yes, 2 years. Isn't that exciting? 2 years ago, we came in this room and we said, hi, I'm Reverend Patrick and this is Reverend Rita. And today we have 118 members. And so, thank you. Thank yourselves. It's just, they say, what do you do here? We just create a wonderful, safe space for you to just be who you are, your magnificent selves. So that's next Sunday. We will not be in this room. We will be at the Lidgate Pavilion. Where will we be?
Lidgate Pavilion.
At 9 a.m.
That's right. And we will also be bringing, what does everybody bring in Kaua'i?
Potluck.
Potluck. So we have Michelle and we have Roseanne. And we also have Rob here who will be back there for the sign-ups for cleanup and breakdown and what you're going to bring. How about that? Because we know that in Kaua'i, we would never know that until the very what? Last moment. There we go. Just letting us know who we truly are. And there's also a fundraiser that we do every year at this time with that. And it's the Over the Rainbow Terrific, not terrible, but terrific 2s. And what that is that we just have these little gold coins and this wonderful, that Rob made up for us this year, and we just kind of, do the old chart thing, but we really want to appreciate the people that have donated thus far. And when you do, it goes in the pot of gold, and then your name goes up there, and you just help us to do what we're going to do in year 3, and that would be what? Move. We're going to what? Move. It almost sounded like a moo.
Yeah.
Move. Okay. Yes, they're going. I'm so glad I'm offline on this thing. Yeah. So anyway, next Sunday is our birthday. We have the fundraiser, and also just the last thing. We do need some volunteer opportunities. The bookstore. We're right now we're on the computer, but we want to go to actually have the camera live streaming. And so if anybody has that urge to be a part of the technical, then please see me or see Rita. And that's it. Speaking of membership, if you are interested in being a member, the sheets are in the back. And it's just a one page. It's really a commitment to yourself, a commitment to our community, and a commitment to this global community that we call home. So I think that is it for me. And that being said, we're going to light our peace candle. If you know anything about this teaching or anything about New Thought or just this thing called life, we start with ourselves. I know it's great to say it'd be nice if they did it for us first, but it really starts right here at home. So we believe that peace starts with ourselves too, and it works its way out. So there you go. We do this every week to just remember how we can activate this thing called peace. And for our brothers and sisters in Charleston, our brothers and sisters all over the world that need in this moment our consciousness to be at its highest vibration. And when we do that, we do change the planet. So there you go. So now get comfortable. The commercials are over. Now it's time for the most important thing, and that is you. You in this moment of just getting quiet in whatever way it feels comfortable for you. Close your eyes, leave them open. It really doesn't matter, because this is a time that we are centering for you. And we'll have some wonderful music, and that is with Jeremy and Amy over here to my right. Welcome. It's so good to see our musical directors. So just get quiet, and I have a seed thought for us to take in with us on this wonderful 4th of July weekend. And it's from this man called Jim Morrison, if anyone remembers. And this is what he has to say. Expose yourself to your deepest fear. After that, fear has no power. And the fear of freedom shrinks and vanishes, and you are free. Expose yourself to your deepest fear. After that, fear has no power. And the fear of freedom shrinks and vanishes. You are free. Mahalo, Jim. expose yourself to your deepest fear. After that, fear has no power, and the fear of freedom shrinks and vanishes. You are free. And staying in that place of absolute freedom, which is our birthright. We came here free, and we are free at all times. And all that is required is to remember that we are free in mind always. So what I know about this day is that a celebration is taking place, a celebration of our true selves, the true you. And that is this power that has created everything, seen and unseen, is running through and as each and every one of us in this room. And we take this power, and we use it. We use it from that place of good, from that place of freedom. And we celebrate that together today as Ohana, as community, as family. So knowing that, I am so grateful. My heart is overflowing from a place of mahalo for each and every one of us, for this planet, for this very breath that I am breathing, for the very expression of God, good, call it whatever you want. It needs no name because it is everything. I am grateful for it and grateful to express it. So knowing that, we can just get out of the way and let this wonderful celebration begin and unfold from a place of absolute beauty and love. Knowing that this is the truth, we just release it, we let it go. From Allah to Allah, from the law of our being that always says, yes, have at it. As together we say, and so it is. Well, welcome again. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's the fourth, well, it's the fifth, but we're going to pretend it's the fourth, kind of. Independence Day, freedom. Hey, life.
Oh, hi everyone.
Uh-oh.
Is there a seat here? Better.
Beautiful
Right up front,
flowers, Loya. There she is.
Is that oh, it's Katie's. You can sit right there.
Oh, good. And
No,
Nana, do we
no,
need...
come up here.
There's a seat next to you that's free. Just raise your hand. There's one up here. Good. There we go.
Okay.
That's a good thing.
That is
I
good.
always say that's a good thing.
So again, welcome everyone. And if you don't know me, I'm Reverend Rita. You have already introduced yourself, Reverend Patrick. You
They've
just
had
came
it.
in. And yes, you are in a center for spiritual living, an amazing teaching that just says that we all express this one source, this one power, this one light, this one energy that from which everything comes. That's who we are. That's the very essence of ourselves, the very essence of our being and our minds and our hearts is this one source. And because we all come from it and live in it and it moves and breathes through us, we're all connected to each other. There's nothing that we can't do that we don't do to each other. So the highest place to live is from a place of love. And we come here to remember this on Sunday and take it out into our lives and to know how powerful we are because we have this amazing law of our being, the law of cause and effect that we get to think into, and it just says yes to us. And we look at our lives and we can see that. As we think, so we are. So we want to keep our highest, and best thoughts. Not to stress ourselves out about it, but just to think about that from that highest place all the time. Once we know who we are, then the rest is easy. So it's mostly focusing on knowing how magnificent and wonderful we are.
That's great.
And each of us are.
And one other additional comment on that, we're a full service station. And what I mean by that is that a lot of people say, well, you know, I get fed, I get, you know, pumped up on that gas on Sunday, and then it starts, you know, about Wednesday, you're like, who was I again? And then all of a sudden you're slipping back. We're full service, and that's the reason that Rita and I started the Center for Spiritual Living. That yes, it's about Sundays, and it's about Ohana, and it's about family, but it's also about during the week with the classes, with everything that we do, and we make these events so that we can come together and just continue to remember it, because someday we will remember it and then we'll still need this time together because everyone needs ohana and family. So I just wanted you to know that we are a full service station. But something that's very important right now as we're getting all settled in is this. Who is here for the very first time? There we go.
Roseanne's
There we
gonna
go.
come get up and
Rose, yeah. Yeah, just go ahead and get up though. It's easier to do that way. There we go.
Is there somebody in the back row? No. Yeah.
Whoever didn't receive a packet and you're here for the first time, because we know who you are. Okay, now that you have the packet, and you're probably wondering what's inside the packet. Nothing. No, I'm just kidding. What's in there is just a very important talk that Rita and I did, and we really wanted to share it with you. And $10,000. Just saying. No. So what we want to tell you about this is
That's
what
funny, but it's funny. I had to break it up here.
Wow. You'll excuse me a moment. Wow. This is what happens after 2 years. Yeah.
Sorry, I know I'm not.
Just because you've heard it every week for 2 years doesn't mean that it's not new to somebody. Okay, so anyway, back to you. What this is about is that we heard something about you, and we wanted to share that with you. It's going to be a long Sunday, just FYI. So what I know is we found something out about you. Should we let them know?
Yeah.
Yes, I think so. You are magnificent! How does that feel? I think they need to hear it one more time. You are magnificent! It brings a smile to your face. Well, the reason we know that is for one reason, and that's because we know that about ourselves. And we couldn't know it about you unless we did. So what do we know? I am magnificent. Now just so we can do more magnificent, just look to your left or right, just tell somebody that they're magnificent. You
are magnificent.
Don't try. Yes, I am magnificent and funny. That's what I was doing.
They're
Oh, wow.
Never mind.
Laughter's
I'm not
good.
gonna try to take
Laughter is good. So I think we better open this service and let things start to really go with Jeremy and Amy as they open us up. This is a new month, so that means we have new songs. So here we go.
All right, let's get everybody up who wants to get up. Huh?
Yeah.
Stretch out a little bit. These songs, do it 3 times. Keep feeling your love in me over and over again. I keep feeling your love in me over and over again. And it's sweeter and sweeter as days go by. Oh, what a love this is, you and I. I keep feeling your love in me over and over again. I keep feeling your love in me over and over again. And it's sweeter and sweeter as days go by. Oh, what a love this is, you and I. I keep feeling your love in me over and over again. I keep feeling your love in me over and over again. And it's sweeter and sweeter as days go by. Oh, what a love this is, you and I. Oh, what a love this is, you and I.
this is New Member Sunday. We do this a few times a year to welcome in those of us who have decided to make a further commitment, not just to ourselves, to our spiritual growth, but also, firstmost that, our commitment to ourselves, that we are committed to know ourselves spiritually and to live from a spiritual place and to do whatever is necessary to keep that aliveness within our lives every single solitary day, and to remind ourselves that we are spiritual beings. It's that, and then it's also a commitment to our Center for Spiritual Living Kaua'i, saying that this is your spiritual home, and you want to be here, and you want to support this center, and to also commit yourself to your growth in that you get, read and study and all those wonderful things that make you feel connected and better about yourself. So we have a few people, and Patrick's going to read their names, and then if they're here, they can come up. If they're not here, hopefully they're watching. But
Actually, you're going to read.
not going to read?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, you
Because
can
you're
get the hugs.
better at the
You can get the
last
hugs. So if you're here, come up and.
Exactly.
Okay, if you're here, come up and just take a place up here because we're going to sing a special song to you. So Lori Chicatello, is she here? Oh, okay. Trish Cordes.
Yeah.
Am I saying your last name right?
Yeah.
No?
Okay.
What is
Yes.
it? Yes. Okay. Trisha. Do you like to be called Trish or Trisha? Trish. I call you Trish. So. All right.
Yay.
Okay.
Do you want them on the side?
You can take your time. Yeah, over there. I think there's more room. And then Judah Freed.
No,
Judah here?
they're not back
Hi,
yet.
Judah. Hopefully you're watching. Olga Hogan. She's not here. I know she lives in Poland, but she's planning on moving to Kauai, and she said, I want to be a member of your center. So if you're watching,
Awesome.
Which you could
yeah, if
read
you're
it.
watching, here we are, and we're honoring you. And then Reverend Jamie Klein, who wanted from LA, who is going to move to Kauai probably next year, so we'll have a staff minister here, which will be really cool. Anyway, he has committed to join our center, Reverend Jamie Klein. Hi, Jamie, if you're out there.
He actually wanted us to call sorry.
Yeah, he wanted us to call him on the phone. I'm like, no, that's a little too much for now. Melissa Mojo?
No, she's
No, she's not here. And then Nona. Yay.
Yay.
Yay. And Judith McLeod. Or Judah.
Judah.
Judah. Okay, not here. All right. Hopefully
Guess
you're all
it's
out there.
about you two.
All right, so we're just gonna sing you a little song. Everybody can join in. Everybody knows this song. And I'm glad there's two of you standing up there, so you don't look like two chicks. So we're gonna sing "The Face of God" to them. Everybody knows it, right? So just sing right to them. Remind them of who they are. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. That's my fault. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. Let's sing it to each other, okay? You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. Thank you. She's like, thank God. Yay!
I love it. No matter what you think about that song, no matter what, it always like you're. Oh, there's a fit.
cry.
But doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially when you pick it up.
Imagine it's like you start to get
That was
into like
funny.
a tough moment with somebody, or and you all of a sudden start singing that song.
So two things would happen: a beautiful moment, or ow. Oh, that's beautiful. So let me. We have, as I said before, a wonderful guest today. I'm telling you, this is so. We're so transparent. Still, can you imagine? It's still authentic here, and I'm just laughing because I get these things. I pick it up, stuck in my head, and I'm trying to move forward with this. We have today a special guest, and that's Mark Reed. And I'm going to read a little bit because I want to make sure I don't mess up where he comes from. As far I know where he comes from originally, and that is from source, but as where he lives. Mark Reed, he's licensed CSL practitioner. His spiritual home is in West Valley Center for Spiritual Living in Peoria, right, Arizona. And he just wrote the True You book, and that's following your true self on a journey of spiritual awakening. He's a spiritual coach, a joyful prayer. Mark's interests are helping others know the truth, writing, spiritual community, event planning, reading, and cooking. And traveling where to Kaua'i, where I just know someday you two will be living here as well.
And we're here with his wife, Dora.
And his wife, Dora. That was something. It's going to be just another Sunday. And he's administrator for over 20 years and is currently employed at Arizona State University. He and his lovely wife, Dora, reside in, is it Avalon? Avondale, Arizona. But this is what I have to say about him. He is funny. I've started to read this book. He's going to be here afterwards. He'll sign it, and you can purchase it. They have about 10. They brought about 10 with them because, you know, it's like when you're coming to the island, you don't want to weigh it completely down. But it really was just the history part of who this man is and where he's come from and what he's gone through to remember who he is. Just is breathtaking. And I haven't even got to the spiritual, you know, the parts, the other 8 chapters. So without further ado to our reading, our affirmation, and our treatment is the wonderful practitioner, Mark Reed. Love you. Well, enough about me. Let's get to spirit. So my reading today is from the Science of Mind textbook by Dr. Ernest Holmes, our founder. The first version, the first edition, which is online, by the way, for free.
Wow.
The spirit of intelligence, which is God, in order to do something for us, must do that thing through us. And what it is to do must first become a part of our mentality before it can become an individual experience. Our mentalities are but the Spirit working through us as individuals. In the new schools of thought, there are those who claim to demonstrate only by the Spirit. Also, those who claim to demonstrate only by the mind. This is a distinction which is suppositional rather than real, and is impossible, because if there were 2 powers, we would at once have duality, and our philosophy of unity would be contradicted. There is but one active intelligence, whether it be the universal intelligence or universal spirit individualized in us. So my affirmation for the day: I am an individual expression of universal spirit. I am an individual expression of universal spirit. Let's say that together one more time. I am an individual expression of universal spirit. Let's anchor this truth in prayer. God is. Spirit is. That universal, eternal, conscious source energy is all there is. It is all love, all light, all truth, all life-giving, all the time. It is without opposite. It is the one and only power. And it is who we are. We are made of it. We live within it, and it lives within us. Each of us being individual expressions of that one power. Each of us living within God, God living within each of us. We are one with this infinite loving power. And in this oneness, through this direct connection, I know that each person here is whole, perfect, and complete. Exactly as we are whole, perfect, and complete. We lack absolutely nothing. I know for each of us that we know the truth of our being. Each of us intuitively knows who we are. And as we remember, we know what is true and what is not in our consciousness. And that which we identify, we observe, that is not based in truth, not based in love, we release and let go of on a moment-to-moment basis. Whatever that is, fear, anger, resentment, judgment of self and others, impatience, guilt, shame, all of these things that we know are not based in love. We just know they are a miscreation, a misperception of the ego. We just let them go. We release them as soon as we identify them. We don't judge ourselves for having these thoughts. We just let them go because they're not real. And we know the truth of our being, that we are loving expressions of a universal intelligence, that we are love, we are peace, we are joy, we are courage, we are strength, we are clarity, we are harmony, we are abundance, we are vibrant health. This is the truth of our being. All that is good, all that is love, all that is based in life-affirming truth is who we are. And we give thanks for knowing that. We give thanks for knowing the truth of our being. And we say mahalo to Spirit, and we just release this word, let it be, and know that it is so. And so it is.
So it is. Now.
Thank you so much, Mark. It's always so wonderful to hear other consciousness treat. It's just like, it's great. Thank you for gifting us with that today. Thank you. And Dora, welcome. So, next on our service today is to hear from Jeremy and Amy, and I know they have some beautiful music to sing to us, so let's turn the time over to them.
Thanks, you guys. All right. Usually it's not a sing-along, but you guys can echo the first line of each verse, okay? Here we go. Kaua'i, one of our favorites we like to do here, Land of the Rainbows. I woke up this morning, rainbow filled the sky. Wanna do that one with us?
Yeah.
Well, I woke up this morning, rainbow filled the sky. Yeah. Well, that was God telling me everything's gonna be alright. Well, so long, good friend. When will I see you again? With us? So long, good friend. When will I see you again? I'ma see you there. Gonna pack my old guitar, move on down the road. Gonna pack my old guitar, yeah, move on down the road. Where I go, I don't know. Well, I guess I just got to go. Well, I woke up this morning, the rainbow filled the sky. All right, CSL Kaua'i, let's do it. Ready? I woke up this morning, a rainbow filled the sky. Well, that was God telling me everything's gonna be alright. Let's sing that again. Yes, that was God telling me everything's gonna be alright.
Do you believe that?
I do, yeah.
I bet you do. Ah,
Is there any possibility we can get someone to adjust the air?
yeah.
What, is it too hot?
Well, what I'm saying is I can't go out there, but I'm going to ask someone. Will you just let them know that they never did come? Because we can't get into it. It's locked.
Yeah.
That's.
Sorry.
It's okay. Yeah. So thank you, and we will get some air in here.
Thank you for
Before,
asking.
yeah, thank you for asking. I was who was I going to after that was done? So there we go. So now we know that everything is going to be all right. There's rainbows everywhere. So today, this whole month's about freedom, and today's message is about free falling. You know that free falling? They say that the actual definition of it is the part of the parachute jump that precedes the opening of the parachute. So that's that free falling moment that I would be going something like this. So that would be me. Because I'm going to tell you a little bit about jumping out of a plane. I've never done it. And I'm not too sure I would. And I have a lot of faith. But that's a real free-falling moment. But that we don't have to jump out of a plane to understand that. We've all been free-falling, here and there. And so what free-falling means to me, and simply, is that I need to trust. And there's a lot of trust involved for me when I think of myself standing at the edge of a door and flinging myself out into sky. Even the thought of it makes me a little dizzy right now. Has anybody ever jumped out of a plane? Yeah? Yeah? Yeah. Yeah. So see, and I'm talking about what's attached with the parachute. Another thing for me that this tells me about free falling is that there's a lot of people that think standing up in front of a group of people and talking and having a message would be pretty comparable to jumping out of a plane. Standing up in front of people is not everyone's forte. Actually, I've seen it, it's called stage fright. And it's pretty frightening if you've ever watched anyone. And I've actually had stage fright myself, coming from a theatrical background. I've had a few moments, because in that, which I can talk about, jumping out of planes, I really can't. But I can tell you that there are moments, no matter what moment before free falling, that there comes that moment of trust. And I know that even walking out on stage and having all your lines memorized, there still comes that moment that you have to put down your script and you have to walk out there and you have to do the play. And that's kind of that is my message today for us, is that we can rehearse all we want And God, do we love to rehearse. Don't we? I mean, just the spiritual community, I love us, but we love to rehearse. We love to make sure that it's just, we got everything kind of lined up. Because why? We're control freaks. It's as simple as that. It's called controlling. We want to control the outcome before it's happened. Haven't you ever been there? I want to know that when I make a decision, that when I make that decision, like coming here is a good example of that. I really felt like I was free falling because, Rita said, I've told it before, it's like the little bird being pushed off into the nest because I came first, and she's like, okay, go. And you're like, and so you're sitting there thinking, I'm going to fall into Kaua'i, and everybody's going, how nice that is. But it had the same feeling as free falling because I didn't know where I was going to land. And I didn't know really, except one thing, that I was being called to do that. That there was something, a divine urge coming through me that said, you must jump. You must jump. And whether that be in a relationship, whether that means in your financial affairs, you're never going to know what the result is until you jump. Uh-oh, it's happening. You know how I get. If you've been around. It's starting to just come up now because I am at a point in my life where I must trust 100% that spirit, life, force, call it whatever you want, has my back. And not just my back, it has everything that I am. And that takes some jumping sometimes. Because my world tells me, I know not your world, but my world tells me sometimes that it doesn't always have my back. Sometimes my world tells me the place is scary. Sometimes my world says to me that people aren't nice, that people are out to get me, that might just turn on the news. They're out to get me. There's no chance. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And for me, I am a hypocrite if I do not really stand by my true belief. And that is that I am 100% protected and safe at all times, no matter what. And it's like being on that high wire, man, which another place you will not find me. FYI. I'll go anywhere spiritually, but this physical thing is just hanging out there on that line. But they're walking through, and sometimes they have a net. But doesn't life sometimes feel like there's not a net? That there's not a net underneath us. And there is. No matter what is going on in your life, there comes that time that you must trust, that you must walk out in the center of the stage. And the reason you have to go out there by yourself, you're not really alone. But the reason that we have to go out by ourselves is because that last moment of trust is up to you. Nobody can do it. I've sat in sessions, I'm a practitioner, I've sat with them, and we've all talked to one another, but that last moment, it's up to you. And that's why I know that this faith that I come from, this faith of God, I want to be really clear about something. I do not have faith in God. I have faith of God. And that makes me right, smack dab in the center of life. And that's what I get to trust. And yes, I do have to remind myself every single day who I am. And it's not that it's not easy. I just see somebody wanting to turn down that heat. Would you do me a favor? He's out there, but he doesn't want to come in and interrupt, I believe. But in a way, they already did, so it's really okay. Oh, he might be coming that way. So anyway, moment, pull back. That's what I love about this thing called life. That I had my lines aren't memorized. He wants to come in, and you have your script, right? And this is what you do when you're in the middle of something. Somebody walks on stage or they do anything, this is what you do. You improvise and you clap. You improvise. And you also allow this gentleman to do it because there's one thing I've learned. I like it to be all about me. And so if someone's turning it down, it will not be all about us. So that's what another thing about being in this wonderful land of improv is that you can take life when things happen and not go all out. Do you guys know that when you have something planned and then all of a sudden it doesn't meet your qualifications and all the stuff you were planning to do, you were very, very upset with that because you wanted control. And guess what control does for us? It makes us feel safe. We think it does. Until something comes in and says, no, I have another plan. So let's go back on the high wire for just a moment. So my message for you today is very clear. That last moment of trust. That last moment of trust is up to you. And I wrote this the other day. I have a blog that I put out, and this is what I said about stage fright. We all have stage fright to some degree as we make our choices through the big stage of life. You are not on a high wire without a net. Life's source is your net, and you can trust it, and you can trust yourself. The challenge is that no one can trust for us, and at that last minute before the curtain comes up, we must let go and trust. So the message today is to let go and trust. It's the only way. And they trust also that somebody is going to be there to pull that for you. It may be me, it may be someone, it may be your partner, it may be this entire congregation. I love life, that's all I can say is trust. So, thank you so much. We can give him an applause. I will get a tagline on this. So, we all understand we can jump out of the plane, not literally, but jump out of the plane of life, and we know that we can trust ourselves. That's the key, is trusting yourself. 100%. So I turn this now over to someone who I trust very much, and that is Reverend Rita.
It's always so hard when that happens, and you handle it really perfectly. You're wonderful.
I have training.
Yeah, I just love the way you do it. So, the closest I've ever come to free falling was when I fell at Queen's Bath. That didn't end very well. You all remember that a couple of years ago. Yeah. Anyway, no. I said to Patrick, maybe we should have everybody get up and do a trust fall. And he goes, no. We don't have insurance for that. No. I've never jumped out of an airplane. I never will. I should never say never. Who are the ones that said they did jump out of an airplane? Wow, I'm not surprised at this. I don't know you well enough, but I'm not surprised too. I really give you, that's courageous. I know a lot of people do it like when they turn 50 or something. That's stupid. So well, sometimes you do feel stupid when you do things like that, but you do it for a reason. You do it to just kind of challenge yourself. And I think that's what we're talking about here today, is challenging our comfort zones. And I don't have any problem doing it like mentally. I can challenge myself like crazy. I took my granddaughter to an amusement park in California, and I said, okay, I'll go on that ride. I said, maybe you don't know it, but the one that goes like this, the ship.
The pirate ship.
Yeah, the pirate ship. I thought, I can handle that. I said, that'll be fine. It's not like a roller coaster or something. You're just going to go up and down, right? So I get on the thing, and as soon as it did its first thing and my stomach fell out, I was like, I won't say what I said. But and my granddaughter was like laughing at me, and I'm like, okay, all right. But all of a sudden I started going, I am one with it. I am one. No, really, it worked. Because all of a sudden, instead of resisting, I put myself into the motion and grounded myself in the motion of going up and down instead of fighting it. And I think that's sometimes what we do when we're fighting life too. We just resist what's happening. We resist it. And instead, if we can just align ourselves and be at one with it, then it makes things go a lot easier. And to realize who's at one with it We are, like I said last week, we're bringing, maybe I didn't say it, but maybe I was just thinking it, we're bringing God to our experiences. We're not bringing our experiences to God. We're bringing God to our experiences. What Patrick said about having the faith of God. So, what I want to just stress is that it takes trust. But how do you get the trust? You have to make a commitment. You have to say yes to it. You have to make a decision that you're going to trust. Even when you don't trust, you have to make a decision. And it takes a commitment to free fall. I'm sure before you jumped out of an airplane, you had you were making a commitment. When I did my one-woman show for 110 minutes, and I had to be out there by myself, and as soon as the curtain would go up, I knew there was nobody to save me. I had to make a commitment to go out there and to know that everything was going to be all right. It wasn't just, the added thing is commitment, a decision. So I think sometimes our limited thoughts will stop us from going forward because we're judging everything from what we see instead of what we can know, which is something greater. And Ernest Holmes taught us that we walk by falling forward, and that water falls by its own weight. The planets are eternally falling through space. Everything sustains itself in nature. The only reason man is limited is that he has not allowed the divine within him to move more completely express. So that's where we have to go, is to this divine power that we keep talking about, to really get into that's who we are. And how do we do that? We got to make a decision to know that. We got to make a decision to sit and do whatever work that is for each of us to do, to come to the realization of knowing who and what we are, so it goes beyond the words. Beyond the words. Yeah, we can test ourselves and move out into life and haphazardly, but it's not the same as making that commitment to say, yes, I know who I am, and I'm going through this now as that. So, and I think you can build your faith. I know you can. You might say, well, I'm not already there right now, but you can start where you are. That's what we're always taught here, is to start where we are, so we don't feel like, we have to walk on water right now. Not that I want to walk on water. What did I say to Malia? I said, we don't have to walk on water. We can use paddle boards, right? So, but until we can start where we are. It's really important to know that. That you don't have to start like out here where somebody else is. And yesterday, we celebrated, right, the 4th of July. Okay, and we celebrate this every year as a day of freedom. But in reality, our country wasn't free on the 4th of July. You know that, right? That was the day. What did they do? And actually, I think it was July 2nd. They committed to freedom, no matter what. They said, we are committed to it, we declare it. And then they went out from that place and did a whole lot of stuff to be free, right? I mean, be free. They were already free mentally, and that's where we start with this. It's called a mental science. It can't start anywhere else but mentally. That's what's challenging to most people, because they're, like I said before, they want to see it out here before it happens. But it's a mental commitment. So they set their intention down in writing. So I'm going to read you what I wrote yesterday. Maybe if you read my blog, you wrote it. But I thought I should write a Declaration of Independence for myself. So I took the Declaration of Independence, I didn't use the whole thing, and I wrote a little thing for myself. And I said, when in the course of my life it becomes necessary for me to dissolve the bands of limitation which I have constructed in my mind that prohibit me from realizing my full power under the laws of nature as being created in God's nature and all that I am entitled to, I separate myself from man's opinion and unify myself with my true nature, which says that I and all humanity are created equal, that we are endowed with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and that to secure these rights, a law of cause and effect is instituted in our being. I say yes to using this power constructively for myself and in turn for all creation, and that whenever any form of thought in my mind becomes destructive to these ends, it is my right under law to abolish it and to institute new thought, laying its foundation on these true principles and bringing in that moment into my life all that is good. This is my freedom under law. This is my duty as a divine being. I declare this as my truth, and I go forth, and now I live it. That's what we got to do for ourselves. And I really invite us all to do that for ourselves, to make a declaration that we are free. We are free. But it starts here. So, and then we can free fall all we want, because we'll know who's free falling. All right? And then you have a universe that catches us. So, namaste, I love you, and happy Freedom Day. Woo! All right, we're good.
Indeed.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll have that copy to put somewhere, right?
Well, we can each write our own. That's
That's right.
That's what my intention
That's
was, to
most
have
important.
you each write your own. Okay, so now is our time of affirmative giving. And what does this mean? This means that that within ourselves we are knowing that not only do we want to support this ministry and this center that we enjoy every Sunday and whenever else we enjoy it, and that we're spiritually nourished here, but we're also telling ourselves that we have enough, that we're fine, that everything is good, and we can give out. So I know Patrick and I are tithers, and that's where I come from, that place of that I know I always have enough, so I can give wherever I am spiritually nourished. So with that in mind, we have a beautiful affirmation in the program. Oh, and before I do that, last month we gave to Kaua'i Hospice and also the Interfaith Roundtable were two of the places that we were able to. We give out 10% of what you give us. So we're trying to keep it on the island as much as we can. Last month we went to Nepal, but we do that. So
Awesome.
anyway, so here we go. So divine love consecrates my gift.
It goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless.
It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply.
I give freely today, knowing it returns to me abundantly.
So, take it away, Adrian.
Abundance, living life in the abundance. So much good love in abundance. Sweet sensations of a new day rising in abundance. I feel myself in this abundance, giving thanks for this abundance. Following in the blessings of a new day rising in abundance. Living life in the abundance. So much good love in abundance. Sweet sensations of a new day rising in abundance. I feel myself in this abundance, giving thanks for this abundance. Following in the blessings of a new day rising.
And I thought it would be beautiful to have our wonderful Mark up here and do our Thanksgiving treatment. I keep putting him on the spot. Non-stop.
I have no idea what a Thanksgiving
Just treat them for gratitude.
Oh, okay. Well, I can handle that. So let's just center ourselves and just know that this infinite spirit is right here within us and all around us. And knowing that, we know that we have it all. We have the truth of our being. We have complete freedom in knowing that this infinite loving source is always there within. It is always there waiting for us to turn to it. And knowing that, we are so grateful. We give thanks for knowing the truth of our being, for knowing of our divine creative ability. And with that, we have it all. We have the freedom to create the reality that we want. And for this we give thanks. And together we say,
And so it is.
These are for the practitioner students to just know we throw people up and just do our a couple of announcements. He will be back there selling the book and signing it and talking to you about that. And he's also available as a practitioner today if something has come up and that you need a little something. There he is for you, and we're always here for you. And one thing that I didn't mention, somebody was talking about the fundraiser, and they said that they don't really like to go to the site and put it on PayPal and do all of that. So if you do want to add to the fundraiser with, the check, you can give it to us, put it here. It doesn't matter. But I know sometimes people get a little weird about going to the site.
Yeah,
So there you go.
All right, so thank yous. First, I have to start with you, Michelle. Thank you so much for showing up early and for knowing that we were a little short-handed today, and you really made a difference. And all those times going out and running out, and thank you, and just thank you.
And the air conditioner man finally did arrive.
Third time is a charm.
You
Yeah.
bet.
Oh, and let's see, where do I want to start? I'll start over here. Thank you to you two for the beautiful songs and always being such a high consciousness of love and talent in our center. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
And Katie, and our wonderful, where are you, Jackie? Oh, Jackie. She's gone. We were just talking about you. So yeah, see?
Yeah, Katie and Jackie were like
Today
our very
is just
first,
what they call a free-falling day
Yeah.
here at the
Katie
center.
and Jackie were our very first volunteers and really helped us
And
to
they're at the door
get in to
today.
build the center. And Roseanne and Rob,
Yes.
thank you so much for everything that you do, the programs and being on the board, Roseanne, and everything.
And Loya and the beautiful flowers.
Loya, thank you. Where are you? There you are. Thank you again.
And Deborah, I want to thank you for your special mission that you went on for us this morning. We love you. Thank you.
Thank you.
They're all
And I also want to welcome Deborah Bondate,
Yes.
visiting from that was a visiting practitioner also. So she's been with us from the beginning too, and she's
Got some
back
friends
on
with
island
her
and with her
today.
friends. So welcome. And did I remember?
Did we forget anybody? If we did, raise your.
that's taking care of the child.
Oh, Janice.
The one
We
we
need to
didn't
go
call
get her.
in? Yeah. Because Gabi hasn't been here, and so see, this is what you have to realize. It's very important not to take things for granted,
Yeah.
because we're used to Gabi always running out and getting.
Oh, Loya, thank you.
Yes,
Yeah,
getting
just
them.
over
So
grab her.
there you go.
So, yeah, Janice just sits here every Sunday and holds consciousness for the kids, and every once in a while a child shows up, and I guess today one showed up.
Yes.
So
Yes.
we thank her
A
for
little one.
holding that,
Yes.
holding
Oh,
that
a little one,
consciousness.
right?
Yeah, it was a little one.
Your little one, right? Oh, welcome.
Yeah, that's great.
Alrighty.
All right, so, okay.
It's
All
okay.
right,
We
we're
can.
good. All right, so I think we're ready to do our closing. Yes. And it's another new song, right?
Circle up, as they say. That's a gym phrase.
We'll do this song 3 or 4 times, and just a suggestion on the first one, just listen to Amy sing it. And then we'll join in on the repeats.
I'll be back.
right here and right now is that we do remember. We do remember who and what we are. That power, that light, that energy, that source, that thing, life itself, that brilliance, that's who we are. We remember that right here and right now, and we remember and take that into our service, take that into our lives, and we serve. Yes, we serve, we give from that place. I know that for each and every one of us, and this has been a great, wonderful, beautiful time together of awakening, and I am grateful for it. So in that gratitude, I just set us all on our path, our own individualized path, living and remembering and loving. And from this place, I just say, thank you, mahalo, mahalo. And I release this word as law, knowing it is done, as we say together, and so it is now.
Have you come to earth? Do you remember? Why have you taken her? Why have you come to love, serve, and remember? To love, serve, and remember. To love, serve, and remember. To love, serve, and remember. To love.